you're good at the game, you know how to use every defensive badge on NBA 2K25. Here's a quick tutorial. I've done shorts on each of these badges, and if there's a specific badge you want to learn about, there are links to each badge in the description and timestamps if you want to skip ahead. Quick note, for this video we are going to go in alphabetical order, give a brief description, explain how to trigger each badge in-game, and rank in one of three categories. Yay, meaning it's a good badge and should be high on the priority list. A, meaning not super important where you can live without it, but it is a good badge to have. And nay, meaning it's not important and not really worth the hassle grinding for. We've completed the shooting, finishing, and playmaking badges. If you want to see those videos, the link is in the description. Also, we'll be wrapping in rebounding badges along with general badges in another video. We got a few to go through, so let's get cracking with Challenger. Challenger improves the effectiveness of well-timed contests against perimeter shooters. This is the best badge for your back-end defender. You know, the guy holding down your pick and roll defense. The guy stepping up on jump shots and getting back to the slip. Yeah, him. Also works for your lockdown on the island with the dribble god. Outside of those two positions, you'd be surprised to learn that this badge isn't used that much. Yeah, mind-blowing. Most people either just get there with the right stick contest or just let the shooter shoot. Jumping can lead to shooting fouls as well, which is kind of annoying. I'd say the best and main reason to jump using Challenger is in last second situations and for power forwards, and also in those situations where the guy is kind of too far out the right stick, so you kind of just have to jump and pray. In power forwards, I'd say yay, but since a lot of you are just playing for the love of ball, I gotta say A, it's good to have but not mandatory. Move your feet and close out on those guys. I swear most of them are just average shooters. Next is a guard's worst nightmare, and that's Glove. Glove increases the ability to successfully steal from ball handlers or strip layup attempts. Yay badge, let's just go ahead and get it out the way. Yep, let's just go ahead and put that there. Yep. Glove soaked in right stick ripper as well from last year, and to be honest, is not as OP as it was in the past. Every year, enough people complain and developers had steal success within the first month, but if you're good at the game, you know how to use your rump to get steals. Yeah, you heard me right. Your rump, your tuchus, your hindquarters, your badonkadonk, you get it. To really get Glove to trigger, it's best to cut off the defender's path then hit square. What this does is raise the success and lowers the chance at getting a foul call. Try it. It takes practice and your teammates will love you if you can force turnovers often. Coming in next is High Flying Denier. High Flying Denier boosts the speed and leaping ability of a defensive player in anticipation for a block attempt. Just chase down artists from old 2Ks. Now, these are tough to get and expensive in the builder to add your block high enough to get chase downs at a high level. Also, getting blocks without fouling in itself is challenging. Now, to add tracking down a player from behind, maybe, and I really mean maybe, you get one a game. Don't prioritize this, gotta make this the first nay of the video. Only worth it for centers, even though you should prioritize interior defense and rebounding. Up your block too, if you got it, but straight up defense works more consistently, just my opinion. Coming in hot is Immovable Enforcer. Immovable Enforcer improves a defensive player's strength when defending ball handlers and finishers. Now this badge can be a tad confusing, I understand it if you get it mixed up with post lockdown or on Ball Menace. No worries big dog, I got you. On the perimeter, on Ball Menace triggers when the ball handler is moving about east or west, or when there's a player dribbling up the court when you're pressing them. We'll break this down more when we get to that badge in more detail. Within the 3-point line, post lockdown just works in post play and back downs. We'll break this down later in the vid as well. Now with Immovable Enforcer, this pops when the player is actively driving towards the basket. So every time you cut off the dribble downhill and disrupt the drive, you'll get this to work. Very useful badge, great antidote for blow-by animations, and good for forcing pickups and turnovers. Yay in my book, you do need strength on your build as well to be really effective here. Great for you locks and worth it for you on-ball defender guards as well if you can afford to add it in. Next up we have Interceptor. With Interceptor, the frequency of successfully tipped or intercepted passes greatly increases. One of my favorite badges on the game for as long as I remember. Lurk steals, rotation steals, stealing the slip, linebacker steals, you name it, I love them all. There's an absolute art to getting lane steals post-patch. If you're really good, you you don't need a super high steal to get tip passes. 2K does a poor job of keeping the ball in bounds after tips and deflections, but if you get enough of them, you'll be super helpful in any situation. I'll say this is a yay. Try to get your steal high enough to get the badge to silver, and make sure you're not just spamming square and passing lanes. The ball is going to go right over you for easy buckets. Last thing I'd like to add is that you can only really get this against other users. AI does a really good job at avoiding you in the passing lanes unless they're playing with other users. Just know you won't be a bona fide lane lurker day one, but your boy YEYNotGaming has your back. We're gonna keep chewing this train with off-ball pests. Off-ball pests makes players more difficult to get past when playing off-ball. So just a badge to bump folks on cuts, pretty much. Being honest, I don't have a ton of clips for this badge, so I'm gonna be really brief. This is useful, I might say, especially if you're guarding a shooter that can dex really well, or if you're a big dealing with someone cutting up and down. It's also good against lob threats. Left stick into those guys to slow them down, and it'll keep you in the play. Gonna make this an A actually, because it is useful but not necessary. If you're having trouble determining if you should make it a focus or not, slept on badge for sure, but you can get by without it. A little over halfway through, and up next we have Ball Menace. Ball Menace hounds and bodies up while defending on the perimeter. This is perfect for full court pressing guards up the court and helps you get those bump animations and forces pickups. Now, as we stated earlier, this is different from Immovable Enforcer. Enforcer focuses more on the drive to the rim, and this focuses on dribbling around the floor. This badge has a significant skill gap, and here's why. Holding L2 to get bumped is not the right way to use this badge. I repeat, not the right way. Now hear me out. The key is the left stick into the ball handler and only using L2 to stop your feet. Holding L2 down will leave you in quicksand most times and makes it difficult for you to catch up when left behind. Boom, with that info, you're already a better lockdown than most people, so you're welcome. This badge is the Yay category level badge. Of course it is. Extremely useful in the backcourt to contain players from navigating around, and works as a preliminary badge to stack most of the other ones. Now we got Paint Patroller. Paint Patroller increases a player's ability to block or contest shots at the rim. Now this is a shout out to my big fellas out there. Like I said earlier, getting high flying denier isn't necessary. Instead, prioritize this. 2K Lab did a test on this, and they're saying that bigs should have this at gold at minimum. Now they also say bronze to gold for lockdowns, in which I kind of agree, but I would say no higher than a bronze and play with some folks you can funnel the traffic to. Block animations aren't the greatest this year, but with gold you can play straight up and see success. Also, jumping late on layup attempts, stacking with pogo stick might be the glitch we never talk about. Hall of Fame plus, you may get a snatch block or two. So let's put it at yay, because defense does win championships, and for our front court, this is a foundation badge, actually a great foundation badge for anyone at all skill levels to utilize. Getting close to the end now, we have Pick Dodger. Pick Dodger improves a player's ability to navigate through and around screens while on defense. This is absolutely necessary for you on-ball defenders. The better you are at getting through screens, the less high you need it, in my opinion, but on the other hand, the worse the ball handler, the less you need it. Another foundation badge for lockdowns for sure. The best way to get through screens is to pick a side you want to leave the ball handler. Stay still if he dribbles towards you, and if he goes the other way, you can do one of two things. If the screener is too high, fight under. If his screener is too low, fight over. If you're dealing with a good screener, it's probably best to go over because you have help behind you in case you're dealing with a pro. Gotta put this in the yay category as well. Yeah, I know we're getting a lot of yays in this video. You need this when starting out your experience on any 2K mode or if you're a seasoned veteran. And last badge of the night, we have Post Lockdown. Post Lockdown strengthens a player's ability to effectively defend moves in the post with an increased chance of stripping the opponent. Not to be confused with the Immovable Enforcer, in which the player is driving at you, and in this case he's backing you down. I will say this, it is useful, but I mean all of the badges are useful I guess, but this is useful in a couple specific situations, so walk with me. When you're dealing with a post dominant player that likes to use a lot of fancy footwork post moves and get you dancing underneath the basket, then okay, sure. Also, when there's someone that gets the ball down low and likes to back that thing up and brute force their way to the basket, super humiliating and annoying, and again, definitely need this for that. Now on the other side of the coin, most fancy footwork guys don't have vision, so go double if need be, and brute force guys lose stamina halfway through and boom, you can go double him too while you're at it. This is all in a 5-on-5 situation though. If you're playing 2s and 3s a lot, maybe those guys doing those things, you might be kind of screwed in that case. Having this at silver or gold is necessary. M5 silver minimum for sure. I'm going to drop this in the nay bucket though. Necessary but not the end all be all. Don't put attributes up at the expense of your rebounding. A high strength is already tough to back down, and most intelligent beings in comp won't up their post control in the first place, so don't worry about it too much. There you have it, every defensive badge on NBA 2K25 and its importance in gameplay. If you missed anything, check the description for timestamps. Also got links to shorts which break down each of these badges into detail. Check out NBA 2K Lab for the badge test and analytics if you're nerdy like me. Got a link below for that as well. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.